going on, guys? This is Carl with the Racerred channel. I'm out here riding the Danskin mountains. Finally, we're able to hit some nice mountain stuff. This time of year, it's kind of hit and miss, but right now, it's actually been pretty good. We've had a somewhat mild winter time, and the transition into spring is going pretty well. I don't spend a lot of time out here, so I don't know the trail systems that well. But we have a good time every time we come out. Just hit some trails and see where they lead. Very unforgiving in terms of weather. It can change on you pretty quick. I always recommend that people bring winter gear, even if it's like, you know, May to June, even July at night. It can be pretty cold. So winter gear is a must here. Huge creek crossing. Oh my goodness! Almost drowned my bike. These speed bumps are wild. Got the speed chop. I was listening to the Tucker Carlson Joe Rogan podcast on the way down here. One of the topics they touched on was the homeless crisis, and having worked with a lot of mentally ill people, it definitely occurred to me that, you know, most of that stuff is caused by a lot of drug use. Very few of them were raised in a normal situation where they just had that wrong with them, had a normal diet and all that stuff. And part of what can cause all of that is sugar. If you're just eating sugar every meal, it can certainly cause some issues. I know that a lot of people don't think of that as a drug, but it's certainly one that I'm addicted to. I still haven't cut back, or I've cut back. I still haven't kicked sugar completely. I was just thinking how ways to solve the homeless crisis, and the problem with it is a lot of people want that situation. Not everybody, for sure. But a lot of people do. A lot of people want to stay there. Would they take a free house? Absolutely. But do they want to work for it? No. And they do have a work ethic because they're willing to do pretty much whatever it takes to get drugs. It's just what motivates them is different than what motivates the rest of us. The drugs, like heroin and pretty much any of that stuff, you hear people say they love it more than life, and that is 100% true. They will spend their entire lives in bed or laying on the street in order to do that drug. They will sacrifice their families, their homes, everything for it. Not only that, but somebody who is struggling with that addiction, even alcohol, it makes you a liar. It makes a liar of you, so that people really can't trust anything that you say. And so it's such a weird situation, because a lot of people do end up in prison. They've killed somebody or worse, and there is worse. But like I said, a lot of that stuff is caused by drug use, and alcohol is included in that. In fact, it's the most criminogenic drug out there. So I'm the kind of guy who doesn't necessarily like to talk, despite all of the talking I do on this channel. I don't necessarily like to resolve people's issues and conflict, and I'm not that great at it, really. But I'm the type that will go to battle, no problem. But I just don't want to talk about it. When I was working with a lot of those people, it takes a very special person to work with them, and I wasn't qualified. I was just there as 100% security. I wasn't trained to deal with that stuff. And so I'd have people, I had one guy come up to me and he said, the demons are terrorizing my mind. He was this Mexican guy. And his eyes are shaking, he's shaking. There's no mental health specialist or behavioral health specialist around, just me. And so I would revert to, well, go take a nap. That was one of the main things I would say is, dude, you seem like you're tired. You should probably get some sleep. And that was the extent. I mean, I don't know how to deal with people with all different types of mental illness, especially if it's caused, well, not especially if it's caused by drugs, but just in general. Howdy. Some more hill climb stuff here. People are really giving the commies ammunition. The commies were probably those four-wheeler riders right over there. Just looking at that hill climb like it's a murder scene. So you have a large population of people who are wandering the streets on drugs. No matter what you do for them, they're gonna gravitate towards drugs again. And I'm definitely what you would call far right. I believe in live and let live. If people can do drugs and not commit crimes, then let them do it. If people can shoot guns and not kill anybody, then let them do it. This is called a libertarian mindset. Libertarian is really what I am. But I find it odd that we do have a situation where, you know, people are camping out in tents, sleeping on the streets, sidewalks, and in different cities. and then we just ignore them for the most part. And I don't know if that's the wrong answer, really. But there are people, a small percentage of people, who were born with a disability that prevents them from ever really being able to do any kind of job. And those are the people who I feel bad for, because they, from birth, were really unable to work. And we do have systems for them. Actually, we do have Social Security, where people can get on that and it'll actually pay for your housing and stuff like that. So I don't know, the more I work my way through this, because I'm just, a lot of the information that I give you guys and talk about, I don't research. If I do research, it's just a refresher. So it's not like I have all my facts 100% correct all the time. However, now that I'm thinking about this particular topic quite a bit and working my way through it, I'm like, well, honestly, our society has really good safety nets for those who can't work, and those who can't work and who are also addicted to drugs, those are the ones on the streets, pretty much. So if you're just disabled, then you can pretty much survive without too many issues. If you are someone who's caused your own disability through heroin and meth and all that stuff, and you just want to sleep all day and make no sense whatsoever, then those are the ones who probably should be left alone. I know that homelessness is a problem that a lot of people talk about. Joe Rogan was talking about it as if it's something that we could solve with money. I just don't agree. But we don't have institutions for the mentally ill, really. So we have prisons. We have to pretty much wait for those people to commit serious crimes, and at that point we send them to prison, and then somebody like me 7 years ago has to deal with those people, completely untrained in anything besides security practice. And I just think that's kind of a messed up way to do it, but you know, really, what is the solution, though? Hard to say, really. Oh, I know what the solution is to my congestedness right now. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace. Gotta blow my nose.
Speaking of Wyoming.
I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you.